Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, David Jabi, for pointing out that this moment be never on the door. Sorry, correct to Mako one. Damn, tell me probably. Come to Malako head, Numako head. He's starting be. Let me just repeat myself. Ne, today, man, kira Malakasi studio be coach Neko Vite. Unfortunately, something happened. Something came up over and we had a late notice from him. Ne du fi muna nega. And unfortunately, I did not have enough time. Pour muna replace ko with another guest. Kuy ñëw xam nga. Jox ñu xelaatam si yëfi Gambia fu mu nekk ni Gambian football mi ngi over ne but man kera fi nekk tey so I will try to give you guys as much as possible. There's a lot going on in Gambian football. GFF League bi just jeex na Real di Banjul crown leen champions bëgg nañu waxtaan affaire Real di Banjul ak league title bi naka la demee this season and also transfer rumors yi mi ngi over jax fu mu nekk ni Gambian players yaa ngi move left right and center plus there is a lot of rumors going on ñu war a move ak yooyu noonu so loolu yëpp bëggoon nañ ko waxtaanee tey understand ngeen guys so please su fekkee yéen a ngi doog a ñëw si Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel bi please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button if you like what we do here and am na lu ma leen digoon naa leen I will talk about Yankuba Minteh personally man naa waxtaan about Yankuba Minteh about the player he is, about his qualities and what he has achieved over the past few seasons. Since I started watching that kid, he has been one of my favorite players to see, especially in Gambian football. And if people can recall, 10 months ago, I did not know much about him, but Coach Fini just a lot of a lot about this kid and all those things. Like I did a lot of analysis on him. I checked his numbers and stuff like that. So why Newcastle really wanted him, Feyenoord wanted him. I know what are you coming from nekani mom passing fu nekani Adama Bojang la ñoo wax ak ñom Salifou Koli ak nakala ko head Seni Sanyang who just signed. So these are the players we are talking about. But Yankuba Minteh affaire daf ma itilon trop so bëgg naa wax ci ñu waxtaanee loolu guys. But without further ado guys, ñu starté ci GFF League bi. As we seen crowning champions, Real di Banjul are the champions of the 2023 GFF Division 1 Baluwo League. Yeah, congratulations to Real di Banjul. Real di Banjul, everybody know they are one of the big names when it comes to Gambian football. One of the, if not the biggest. I know Walidan will want to claim that, but Real di Banjul, so here Walidan, Real di Banjul, they are the two biggest clubs and this was their 13th league title. So it is not a mean feat to be the champion of the GFF League for 13 times. Because you are competing against 20 teams to win it 13 times, I think it's massive. And this season, if you remember well, the way the season went, Real di Banjul were not, expecting to win that because for the season was over. Other games that's 14 about 28 games in total, and Real di Banjul they came out on the final game week, which is the final round. That was yesterday. Two games, in the final 2 games of the season, that's when they went up over Falcons. We all know Falcons were leading the league for a very, very long time. Even our mid-season discussions about the league, Falcons will be the champions this season because of Falcons. They strengthened themselves during that window. They brought in some very, very good players. Understand, guy, isi Kamfong, Aksai, Nakaltulati. Ku nekkoon South Africa, guys, midfielder boobu noonu turam bi sax mu ngi ma réer. So gars yi defaru woon daal si time boobu Real di Banjul tam defaru woon nen, but expectation was that Falcons dañoo win league bi because there was a lot of gap. I think demoon na at some point it was 7 points between Real di Banjul and Falcons. In the end, it was very close. Real di Banjul, they won by goal difference because they finished on 60 points as well as Falcons. If I just show you guys on the table, this is how the table panned out in the end. 52 points for Real di Banjul and 52 points for Falcons. Over 30 games, actually. Yeah, 16 teams. Yeah, I just missed that. Over 30 games that guy plays this season. 30 games that guy plays this season. 52 points that guy finished both of them. And then Real di Banjul ended up being the champion. So, yeah, I think if Falcons have they have been Falcons, even though they fall short in the end, winning league B, but dega jambar len xeex nañ ba ci end bi. And if you remember Falcons to be guy ache last season, and then they spent another season in League B, and now they are competing for the league. So it's never easy for a team to come from from the bottom and then to come and compete with these big boys. Real de Banjul have been there; they have done it in the past. They know how to win these leagues, so they have done it 13 times. So they can deal with the pressure better than Falcons, but also the Falcons the end of the season bi ñoom tam struggle in terms of fitness seen injuries yi ñoom Fakeba mi ngi amoon injury yesterday moo ñëw so léegi soo xoolee results yi yesterday yi mi ngi nii Fakeba ñëw na Falcons dañ win seen game bi yesterday 4-2 against Adama Bojang Steve Biko. Adama Bojang scored out his final goal. According to him, that should be his last game. But Falcons guy win game 4-2. Fakeba, who was injured for the past few games, more come back and then scored 2 goals. They were losing that game at halftime 2-1, but they ended up winning that game. So yeah, Falcons they got ay jambar len. They got hair. But at the end, experience more play a big part in their season, and also injury more play a big part in their season. So yeah, it was tough, but the big one goes to Real de Banjul. They are the champions, and congratulations to Real de Banjul on this one. And yeah, that's it. And then we also have a very interesting one. Let me just the leading goal scorer, it went to Mustafa Drame. I think last week, what I mean about Mustafa Drame. So I'm just going to say congratulations, a big congratulations to him. He has set a record in Gambian football. As far as data is concerned, as far as like they have written the record, this is the record. But according to some, there have been some players in the past who have scored more goals than him. So it's not an undisputed record. That particular player was set to score 21 goals, but Mustafa Drame scored 20 goals. But as far as records are concerned, Mustafa Drame is the leading goal scorer in the Gambia Football League as far as they have put those things in record. So congratulations to the Birkama United striker. And yeah, his name is Space TV. John Nako, the player of the tournament, player of the season in the league. I don't think anybody will dispute that. I know we had some very good players in the league this season. Some young players, Adama Bojang, they did very well. Kumelni, Lama Felenele, they did very well. Kumelni, Soneme Salifu Koli at Real de Banjul, he did very well, scored some crucial goals over the course of this season. But at the end of the day, I think Mustafa Drame, with the number of goals he scored, playing for a team that he actually did not win the league, but scoring 20 goals and then breaking the record, I think he really deserved the player of the season. So congratulations, a big congratulations to Mustafa Drame, and big congratulations to Real de Banjul. And well, results today, but it was interesting. And another thing we need to discuss was the relegation. Hawks, defending champions of the GFF League, have been relegated to Division 2, which is very, very massive. Because Societe Hawks, they are a powerhouse in Gambian football. Last season, they were the champions, and this season Hawks, they will be dropped to the second division of the GFF League. So yeah, it's a big shock. It's a big shock to the football chair. I think he buttressed or he highlighted on the problems at Hawks, because he's a Hawks. He would have been in a better position to talk about Hawks here, but unfortunately he's not around. But some of the things that he's mentioned, one problem with Hawks this season was they lose most of their players, and then they did not adjust to the players, like to the formation that suits the new players. So what they played last season, they wanted to maintain that formation. Then that did not work. And he is like same players or they got same players. You body lost Nenlen, same defense be everybody Nyakarenko. But they matter send one of their key defenders, which is Seni Sanyang. He was on his way to sign for a new club in Bulgaria, which we will come to later. So yeah, Hawks, it is a big one, but they will be playing Division 2 football next season. And this is the league table. Let me just show. This is the league table. Real de Banjul finished top. Like I say, Falcons, Fortune, they finished third. Birkama United, they finished fourth. Those were the top 4 of the league. And then the bottom 3 in the relegation were Gamtel, another big team, Hawks, and PSV Weringara. So the 2 champions from last season, that is Hawks and PSV Weringara in Division 2, all going down, which is a big shock. For PSV, it's not a shock because they're coming from second division. It's never easy to come from second division and then compete with the first division, because sometimes the league, like the gap in quality of them huge. And PSV Weringara, they did not have the experience to come and play there. So not all teams are like a Falcons nga ñëw nga door di compete for the league. So PSV wearing nga guy nga demaat, but if they can keep their team together, and of course they lose some players, their goalkeeper be after guy ñaakoon nañ ko ak yooyu noonu. So yeah, loolu tamit they play a part because soo doing well like yaa gis ne yeneen teams yu mag yi dañoo jël notice suñu jëlee notice nag dañoo ñëw ut sa players yi ñu yóbbu leen seen team yi. So at the end you have to build another team again. So su fekkee you don't have a succession plan in place for to replace those players daf dee mën a jafe si yow. And PSV loolu noonu xaloon na leen a affect nag this season si league bi. But yeah, gotta get them down. Gamtel, I think they're play the playoffs. They have to play the playoffs to see if they can stay in the league. They still have a chance to play in the league. But yeah, we will watch this year league. FA Cup be amuton si league bi. So this is GFF Leagues, GFF football, like Gambian football. Only the league like I play and first division B. And second division B is very close to finishing too. Let's just look at the second division table before we move to the next one. Yeah, second division table, this is how it's looking like. It's also very tight. You have BST, Galaxy, and TMT at the top two with 60 points each, 2 games to play for each, and Elite United at 54 points. I seen there has been a lot of celebrations about BST, Egney, Akuyunonu. In actuality, they have not Igangwin, because it is not mathematically proven the guy Egney. Like Elite United Munenyo guy with 60 points, then it will depend on goal difference. But if you look at BST's goal difference and Elite United's goal difference, which is big, it is like 15 goal difference in between. So Elite United will need to Elite United will need to cover about 15 goals and also win all their games, and then BST lose all their games for BST not to get promoted. So I think for the promotion, I think it's quite certain there. BST and TMT, they are in a very, even though TMT they have been struggling since the guy doesn't coach me, but I think those two teams will be very likely going up to the league. I think it's like I can say 99% or more. These two teams are already there, so that's why the celebration I understand, but they are not yet there. So until they are mathematically in, then we can say congratulations to those teams. But for now, we cannot say much about those teams. You want a little bit about the female league. It's a female league. It's been a while since you mentioned about female league. So today we're gonna about because we have a very big game coming up. Red Scorpions and Police. You know what I play. Red Scorpions and Police. The Smiling Coast Derby. I think these are the two big teams when it comes to women football in Gambia. Police and Red Scorpion. As you can see in the table, Red Scorpion are at the top and Police are in third place. Police are in third place, like I say. Yeah. Young Red Scorpion at top with 34 points, 11 wins and 1 draw over the course of the season. And then look at Police, they have 7 wins and 1 draw this season. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game because despite Red Scorpion leading the league, it's always difficult for them to play against Police. Usually, Police is the team that takes points away from them. So this is a very interesting game. The game will be played in Goal Project in Yundum, and then the game is Sunday today, 4 p.m. That should be very soon. So it's a very interesting game. I'm looking forward to see the results. So yeah. You support them in football is quite important. But yeah, Lola wants to GFF Leagues, guys. Congratulations, big congratulations to the champions, Real de Banjul. They have done it. They have been there. They have done it. Of course, they have brought in a foreign coach. One of the few teams, like not many Gambian teams will bring coaches from Europe or stuff like that. And Real de Banjul, I think they are the first or the second team in the league to bring that. And yeah, it did pay off for them because they are the champion. It was not easy for them because they had to struggle until the end. But at the end, what matters is the league. They won the league. So congratulations to Real de Banjul. So next topic, transfers yi rumors yaa ngi bari, transfer yi updates yaa ngi fële ne Aliou Fadera just signed for one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club in Denmark, in Belgium. Like, of course, there is like Standard Liège, they are huge, there is Club Brugge. Club Brugge is actually the biggest one. I think they are the most successful one. But Genk, they are also a very, very interesting club in Belgium. Last season, the season that we just ended, they finished second. second si league bi la guy finish until up ñoo win league bi. Of course Fayera was playing in that league with his club Zulte, but unfortunately ñoom dañ leen relegate. But he was their best player. He scored 9 goals. He created 9 assists for them over the course of the season. At the end, he was their player of the season. So it is no surprise that teams like Bruges, teams like Genk, and also some teams in England were even considering him. But in the end, he chose to stay with the Belgium league and playing with Belgium with Genk. And Genk, of course, they finished second in the league. That means they have a chance to play in the Champions League. So they can be playing Champions League. I think they have to go through the qualifiers, but I cannot confirm that. But yeah, it's a big move for Aliou Fadera, I think, because Genk is a big club, one. And also, if you look at Genk, it was a club that has been the home of few Gambian players in the past. Kumeli Omar Kolis, captain B, Gambian captain B. He has played for Genk sometime. And also, if you follow Gambian football a long time ago, Sefo Soli was time of known. We have very few professionals Gambian football, very few Lalawandi. So they get player who they play ITV League Genk that year. Genk were playing in the Champions League, actually. I can remember very well. They were in the same group as Real Madrid. And those days, Zidane and Ronaldo, they were playing for Real Madrid. Sefo Soli, that was the time he went and played, against these big names in football. So, yeah, he is going to that team. And this year, they have a chance to play in the Champions League. Who knows? We might see a few Gambians in the Champions League. Ki Benala, Yanko Minte is playing for Feyenoord, the champions of Holland. Momentum plays the Champions League. So it's going to be a very interesting season, coming up season. It's going to be very difficult to keep the updating coming when it comes to Gambian footballers, because now the number is becoming overwhelming, which is like a blessing. So for Gambian football, this is what we want to see. We want to see as many Gambian players playing their trade in Europe, playing their trade, in the top leagues in the world. So yeah, Aliou Fadera, Belgium is a very good league, and he's playing for the top teams in Belgium. So what can he do with playing for these kind of teams now? Now we have seen him playing for a team that is struggling. That's kind of lay all their hopes on him to create their hope for him to score. Now he's going to be playing with better players, and in a team like, if you look at the Belgian league, he's going to be in a team where they're going to dominate most of the time, hold the ball most of the time. How can he react to that kind of situation? Is he going to be better? Yeah, he's a top player, to be honest. If you remember well, when the Gambia played against Mali, he started one of the games and then he was ousted at halftime. But I think that match, he was one of the best players. And don't remember, there were times this season where his dribbling was so good that it was being compared to players like Lionel Messi. He was doing better than Lionel Messi. He was completing like better dribble percentage than players like that. So, and he's a very good dribbler. So good luck on your new new chapter of your career with Genk. Yal na la jik, yal na ko jik, yal na dem fofu nonu xam nga mu gëna progress ci footballing career am bek he's still young, 21 years of age. So yeah, ñu ko ñaanal dal, and we are very happy to see him moving to a massive club. And another player who made a move this week is Seny Sanyang. According to the reports from Fode Mane, he costed about 100,000 pounds per 100,000 euros. And that is a good money for Hawks. I would say that's about $6 million. So who changes Gambian dollars? Hawks, despite going down, I think they can use that money to build and then come back up, because I don't expect Hawks to stay in the second division. I think they will bounce back. So, but I think Seny it could be a very it could be a massive one for them, because of Gambian League young, but Gambian League put maintain ko young, but you need financing, and those financing to them so to bank this 6 million, which is even more than the prize money of the GFF League. The GFF League, Real de Banjul, they just won 1 million. You can see in their photos, 1 million Lenjok guy. Hawks have just landed $6 million from selling one of their players who was a key player for the Gambia. Man Seny bu mako setane. I think the first time I watched him was in the AFCON. See AFCON, because Wafubi, I like lack of buy hell. Wafubi sit down on us in games, but buy more hell, because it's difficult for me to watch the league from where I am. So Che more gonna have chance, But Che has told me a lot about this kid, about Seny. He has coached, because playing as a Che, Red Scorpions, team and back so Che know him very well. Understand? So, but man, key bu mako setane like the African Cup of Nations bi mo neka bu Gambia demé under 20 African Cup of Nations first game ma setan Seny, because man suma setane football am dem muna If they am a player, I'm gonna like okay, key mom, key star. And the player before Adam Boyan la was needed. Understand? Adam Boyan, of course, we all know he was the big man, the star, but the African Cup be bunya maybe quarterfinals in the score goals and stuff like that. In the young man feel. But Shani, she started to be like this recommended, wow, this left back is very good. And he was that player I pinpointed at the start. And I was not surprised that Che Bumyo a lot about him. Told me about a lot about this any guy. I think it's a big move. He also is moving to Bulgaria. It's a decent league. It's another decent league, and it's a good starting point for him in Europe. And he's not even going to start with the weaker teams. He's starting with the best team in Bulgaria. Slava sebagai apa dah kalau ada sah Slavia Centurion but it's the biggest team actually. It's the biggest team in Denmark in Bulgaria. It's the biggest team in Bulgaria. Let me just confirm something. Yeah, he just signed for the biggest team in Bulgaria. This team has won 31 league titles. 31 league titles they have won in Bulgaria, which is not a mean feat. You know, it's not a mean feat. CSK Sofia, sorry, CSK Sofia, la Serie Joy. This is the biggest club in Bulgaria. They have 31 league titles, like I say, 31 league titles. That is the highest that any team has in Bulgaria. And last season, they finished in a very decent position. They were like, I know win league but they are a very decent team. They are a very decent team, guys. Jeluma's number one. So let me just not get myself into trouble by quoting fun like I finished league back here. But yeah, it's a big team. And they'll be competing in the European Conference League. And I might just give some reports you Sawaji nakala for the money release. Mi wax ne Seni du mëna join team bi for guys at preseason preparations because of his visa issues. So he's going to be training with their youth team until the team returns. But hopefully those things will not be a problem in the future. Of course, you know, Gambia so if they hala jafe pour pour movement and stuff like that. But yeah, you ñaanal seeni dal yalla ko yalla defal chat fofu non yalla ko yalla defal chat yalla ko move bi ni jik and then mom tamit mu jël the bigger steps and move up. Yeah, we all remember him from the World Cup in the African Cup of Nations. He was an exceptional player for Gambia, one of the most consistent players, you know, who gave us everything every time. Like his energy was exceptional crossing, like he can go forward and put balls in. We can remember the actually he has put in some good balls in the African Cup of Nations. He got an assist and stuff like that. Yeah, Seni ñu ko ñaanal momi tamit yalla ko move bi dik. Another player in the under 20 who has made a move is Mamin Sanyang. Mamin ñu xam ne Bayern ñepp xam ne Bayern la nekkon ci sen youth team bi, so now he's moving to a Bundesliga 2 team, that is the second division of Bundesliga. That is Hannover 96. They used to be Bundesliga club, but now they drop. But it's also a very historic club, a very good club. I think it's a good move for him because for him at Bayern, I don't think I'm playing time. Not in progress to the highest, to the bigger, to the senior team. So then keep see under 23, they see under living we play for so which right now he needs to progress in his career. Now, even though he's going to Hannover 96 and he's going to join their youth team still, the under 23 team, Lamo join. But I think the part before like the part for him to go to the senior team is easier than at Bayern. So sometimes, despite Bayern being the big club, of course, we all want to see players playing in the big club. Sometimes you have to take a step down and then build your career and then then take the next step. So Mamin, he was top player for Gambia in the African Cup of Nations, if you can remember, in the World Cup, sorry. Even though he was a sub mostly used as a sub until the second round of the tournament, Lenko Doga start. But he was exceptional. He scored that exceptional goal against France when he came off the bench to win that game for Gambia. And also he was creating chances left, right, and center. In the group stages of the tournament, actually, he created the most number of big chances in the World Cup. Like, he's a good creator. And he also, against Uruguay, he was the closest to scoring for Gambia. There was a chance that he had. So he's a top kid. xam naa ne because of moom lu xëy na amul that experience ci Gambian league beeg you know the under 20 team bi it was built around players ñu nekk si league bi so that's why it was difficult for coach like to integrate him because start regularly ak you know but he's a top player and eventually he proved to line dafa am pour start and then the final game against Uruguay loolu ñu start ko mu ñëw unfortunately Gambia foofu mooy that was our last game but Mamin ñu ko ñaanal from Bayern Munich to Hannover 96 it's a big move it's a step down for him but it's a good move for him because he's still young. He needs to develop his career. He needs to become a regular. He needs to toughen up, compete at the highest level. And at Bayern it's difficult to have that kind of competition, even though you will be training with good players. You will be training, sometimes they call you to the senior squad, but you don't have that continuity. And at Hanover it's easy for him to to progress from the under 23 and then move to the squad. So Mamin, these were the 3 deals that were announced over the week. And and there were some few rumors. Salif Koli, some clubs are monitoring Salif Koli according to Fo. Some Moldovan clubs, some Dubai clubs, some clubs in South Africa. Bayano, if you remember, the penultimate game of the season, Momoko win at Real de Banjul. I think those 2 goals were very crucial for Real de Banjul this season because Momo scored nyari goal. You didn't move to the top because Falcons then lose on that particular week. Then you win. Then Bayano scored some 2 exceptional goals, 2 top class goals. The first one was a bottom spin like what at the bottom corner. Second one it was a top spin at the top. So two top goals. Bayano, I think he was a player who really sold himself at the World Cup when he went to the Under 20 World Cup. He was very good for Gambia. He was always very consistent. Whenever he had his chance, he was there, making things happen and stuff like that. Even though you cannot see it in the numbers, he did not have a goal or an assist in the competition. But whenever he was in the team, he was played. He was a player who was making impact, and you can see his impact on the pitch and in the team. That's why Lai trusted him and started him. And then Nula continued when USC League B, moving at Real de Banjul League B because those 2 goals, I think those are the 2 goals that won the league for Real de Banjul in the end. So Bayern mom tamit buga na ñoo gis suñ place yëpp ñom ñëpp ñu make the moves and so we will be watching on that for on Bayern. Another player, Fortune Star target Aliou Bari, also an exceptional season. He was in the running for the Golden Boot with Mustafa Jammeh, with Mustafa Dramé rather. Mustafa Dramé ñoo nekkoon di xëccoo affaire bi waaye after in the end Mustafa Dramé win ko. But he also was exceptional. He even scored in the final game of the season. I think he reach at least 15 goals. I cannot recall. I don't know exactly the number because with GFF it's difficult. With Gambian football sometimes it's difficult to have this list. So next season I'm even thinking of having my own database and stuff like that, monitor these kind of things. But this season it was so sad and like we know the leading goal scorer, but it was not documented. So these things you have to document them. Maybe you have the website, you put them there, GFF list bangini. This is the GFF league. These are the top scorers. But Aliou Bari, nonetheless, he had an exceptional season, and now clubs are considering him. London United FC is in the United States. This team is actually the team that Matar Mbouch, the former under 20 coach, is currently he's in their management department, in their management team in the United States. So this team is targeting Aliou Bari. But also, there are other clubs in Europe, various clubs in Europe, and even in England, including clubs in England, according to Fo that is following Aliou Bari. So Aliou Bari mom tamit yalla ko yalla de final dal. Yalla ñi hard di ko ñaanal mom tamit. I think he's about time he make the move, and because now he's in the Gambia under 23 team, so he's getting at that age where he needs to get that move, because sometimes some age that be difficult to move. I think he's at that right age where he can move on to better things. So ñu ko ñaanal ak Fortune. Of course these moves that they mëna help them clubs because of the finance that bu dee duga ci ak yoy nonu. So ñu ngi ñaanal Aliou Bari momi tamit. Adama Bojang tamit ñu ngi doon wax affaire am, xam nga Adama Bojang moom waxtaanee affaire am moom a lot of clubs in England actually ñoo ko toppa. Newcastle is one of them. The Newcastle that signed suñu waaji Yankuba Minteh. Liverpool, Manchester United are being quoted, Chelsea are being quoted. These are teams that are being quoted as clubs that are potential to sign Adama Bojang. And then recently in England they gaa ngi change guys seen rule bi. when it comes to players without working permit, because when you are coming from Gambia, it's difficult to find a working permit in UK, especially as a footballer. Understand? Especially as a footballer. And so loads of them players you sell a loan because there are a few seasons ago, Liverpool signed Taiwo Awoniyi, who now plays for Nottingham Forest. Liverpool signed a player who I think more than 5 years, about 5 years, but they could not even bring him to England because of working permit. And there are other players Liverpool, sir, because I know a bit about Liverpool, by the way. They are signed some players, Gailina buy on loan, they send on loan just because of the working permit. But recently, UK guidance changed the rules here on working permit, and clubs can have, they can sign players without this qualifications to have working permit in England, and then they will get the working permit. So, which is very cool. So that is a good boost for Adam Abodang. So if he's going to move into England, to a club in England, I think it is not going to be as difficult as it would have been in the past. So yeah, ñi ngi ñaan Adam Abodang daal moom itamit yàlla ko yàlla defal jàmm foofu noonu. Yeah, then this one dama bëgg a waxtaan about Yankuba Minteh. I was planning to make a video on Yankuba Minteh talking about his attributes, analyzing his playing style. And this I wanted to do for the general public, not just for Gambians, because most Gambians understand who he is. I have read articles on Yankuba Minteh in the Athletic. I've read articles from Newcastle. I've seen stuff from Newcastle fans and stuff like that. But to be honest, I cannot feel the articles too much, like who this boy is. Like it would be better for a Gambian to do that. It would be better for a Gambian to talk about Yankuba Minteh as a footballer. And Limo Dahomane, I have to talk about Yankuba Minteh. So yeah, guys, this was the reason I had to talk about Yankuba Minteh. So who is Yankuba Minteh? Like this young kid, 18-year-old, one of the 10 months ago, when I watched this kid playing for Odense in his first game, I came here and said, Coach, who is this kid? This kid is so good, because I've not watched him in the league. I've heard his name. Like, I did not even hear his name at that time, to be honest. I did not hear his name at that time. So it was all, yeah, small one, Habibi. But so yeah, who is Yankuba Minteh? Of course, we know the kid came from Bakote, like Demna Jintos Academy, because just from his childhood, what Buba Jallo Falaboy said about Yankuba Minteh, few. I will just bring that post up. This was the kid. This is 2018, by the way, guys. 2018, Buba wrote this on his Twitter channel, and then I just extracted what Buba wrote. He said the name is Yankuba Minteh. He was 13 years by that time. He played for Gintos Football Academy at that time. Position right wing, and flank attacking midfielder, stuff like that. And his qualities, he said, pace, set piece specialist, scoring goals, dribbling, passing, all this stuff. And then similar type of player, Lionel Messi, he said, Lionel Messi. And up to this day, everybody call him Messi. Like, why? Because he has the attributes like what young Messi had. The attributes that young Lionel Messi had when he popped out of football. Those qualities can be seen in this kid. That is the reality. I know it's not easy to talk about Lionel Messi and then talking about players because he's, like they say, one of the greatest footballer of all time. But this kid, Yankuba Minteh, has the qualities that Messi has. And if I say the qualities, one of them is, we all know Messi was one of the best dribblers when he was coming, dribbling the Famuna table, the Qatar, he can dribble up to 5 players, Daniel 5 players before he must score goal. Yankuba Minteh has those qualities in him. He can do those kind of things. And he plays similar role as Messi. He plays on the for Messi started the play. For they play. So the flying right will play. They try to cut inside, and that's play left footers like to cut inside and then do their thing, spin the ball or stuff like that. And this is a typical left footer style of football. And Yankuba Minteh had that. But Messi, what was different for Messi was he can cut outside and then he can go inside again to his right and then cut his, and he can do that repeatedly over a sequence of time. In the same play, he can do that over many times. These are qualities that you will see this kid have. Nekut come Robin rek mu dok si lefam bi rek mi try pour finish. That was the living. Of course, the far dok Mudoga, his qualities are really, really good when it comes to his dribble. And when it comes to pace, like he is exceptionally very fast. And in Denmark, according to the report, like the athletic report that I read, they say he is the fastest player that ever played for Orange. I don't see any data to back this, but according to the athletic article that I read, Yanko Minte is the fastest player who played for Orange. And of course, they sold him for a record fee. The price, let me just go back. Yeah, they sold him to Newcastle for a record fee, £7 million. €7 million, sorry. 7 million. That's a record fee for Orange to sell a player for. And this kid has been there for just 10 months. Just 10 months he has been there. And yeah, he just took the league by storm. I will just show another post from Fode Mane. This is a post from Fode Mane on his Facebook. And then he was trying to, highlight the accolades that Yanko Minte had when he went to Denmark. Yanko Minte joined Orange when he went to Orange, Denmark. Yeah, he joined Orange in August 2022 last year. He started training with the club with the under 19. And then after 2 matches with the under 19, after like they realized this kid is too good for this under 19, we need to move him to the senior team. They moved him to the senior team, gave him the number 40. And when they gave Yanko Minte the number 40, like why number 40? He did not even have his name on the back because he was not a senior, he was a junior. So in Denmark, they have this rule where juniors cannot get their names at their back at that time. So unless they move into the senior squad full time, then they can, they can have a number and then they can have their name at the back. So when he moved to the senior, he was a junior still. He came on in the second half, played against the biggest team in Denmark, which is Copenhagen. Like came on in the final 10 minutes. Yanko Minte came in and scored a goal. That you watch that goal, you will see a lot of Messi in that goal. The way he take that first touch, the way he look at the goalkeeper, or the way he look at the goal and then try to find where the space is. He did not even kick the ball. He just passed the ball to a space, and then that was the goal, and that was the winner against the biggest team in Denmark. And then he was never stopping after that. He just kept getting better in Denmark. He got promoted like to the senior team, and then he was given, that was in October, he got the number 30 at his back, and now he had his name on the back. And in November 2019, Minte debuted for the national team. Gambia called him in the national team. Unfortunately, those games did not go through, so he could not play. Yeah, and he was suspended. Like he said, yeah, he has some behavioral issue, but he's an 18-year-old. So these kind of things will be expected. And I'm sure he has the right people around him and who will advise him. I don't think this is going to be a problem. Sometimes players, when they are young, the head is not yet there, it's not yet mature, and that is what happening. So hopefully, the disciplinary issues will not be a thing that we'll be talking about in the future. We'll be talking about his playing style, what he has been doing, what he can do on the pitch, and stuff like that. Hopefully, that's what we will be talking about more. And he was named OB New Addition of the Year in 2022. A player joining in August. By the end of 2022, he was already named the player of the team, like the best new addition of their team in that particular year. Of course, don't forget the year was started in January, so they might have signed players before him and stuff like that. But still, he was named after just 3 months the player of the team, like for the signing of the year for Orange, And then he won several, man of the match. Those ones were many. The player of the month, man of the match awards, like team of the week. Like he got 5 team of the week. He got 5 times in the team of the week. He scored 1 goal and 2 assists for the under 23, under 19s. And then in the senior team, he had 6 goals and 4 assists in 17 matches. He helped Obi with a possible. This was at a time where they had the possibility to qualify in Europe. In the end, they could not make it. And then 10 months later, he is a Newcastle player. What Newcastle did, they sent him on loan to Feyenoord. Let me just bring that up. Yeah, they sent him on loan to Feyenoord. Yeah, that's it. Now he will play in Feyenoord, the champions of Dutch football. Now he will play in Champions League football with them next season, which will be very interesting to see how, he actually bets into the Champions League. Let's not forget, this kid has not been a professional for 1 year yet. He has not been a professional for 1 year. Less than 1 year, he has been a professional. From August last year, this August will be, like when he become like his anniversary as a professional. But he's already making light And then his numbers are exceptional. In Denmark, you can see what he did. And I will just bring up another thing about some of the numbers that are amazing. Did I post that? Uh, I did not add those slides in my slide, but this was just his dribbling, and that led to goal, and that kept like if you look at the graph, like if you see the blue ones, those were the ones that followed by a goal, and if you see black ones, those were ones that followed by a shot, dribbling, and then followed by a shot. Not necessarily he took the shot, somebody else can took the shot, but his dribbling that lead to a chance for his team, and his dribbling that leads to his team keeping possession and stuff like that. This is what you can see. Like I say, Messi, when he started playing, this was the positions that he played dominantly. That was the right wing, coming inside to his left foot, and then sometimes coming inside to his right again, and then going back to his left. Those kind of things. That's where he played. Then eventually he moved into the center. Started playing as a number 9, like as a 9.5 Messi, I say. So Yankuba Minte has all these qualities, because if you see Buba Diallo's post about Yankuba Minte, he is an attacking midfielder and he's a right winger. So he can play in the 10 role. And nowadays, if you can play the 10 role, you can play that hybrid number 9 and a 10. Because Yankuba Minte is a very good player when it comes to receiving the ball. He's very good at receiving balls. And also, and he's also tough. People think he's not tough. I heard some people say he's not so tough, but I think he's actually a very tough player. Yankuba Minte is actually a very, very tough player and very strong. He's not just the physical player, like physically built, big, but he's short and tough. Just like, the player we try to compare him with, and who we hope, if he can be as good as that player, then he will be an exceptional player. But you never know. This kid, the sky is the limit. I think Coach mentioned a few things about Yankuba Minte in the past, which was like when Yankuba Minte made the move, the first thing he told me was, this kid, at any level, whatever level of football he reaches, it will not surprise him. That is how Che phrased it. So by that, what he means is, if this guy, Yankuba Minte, ends up at Real Madrid and become the main player at Real Madrid, it will not surprise Che. That is how he means it. Because this player is that good. That is the potential he has. This is not to say this is the level he's going to. I don't know. We cannot predict that. But if he gets there, it will not surprise Coach Che or somebody like that, because the player is that good. He has all the attributes you want to see in a footballer, especially a player playing in his position. Like last year in the Dennis League, he was top 5 for tackles per 90 minutes. It was not just about his dribbling, his creativity. He was top 5 for tackles per 90 minutes. That is, he's hardworking. He worked hard for the team. And then he was top 5 for dribbles per 90 minutes. So he was among the top 5 players in the Dennis League that dribble, like that. He has 3.4 dribbles per 90. That was 3rd or 4th in the league. So yeah, this kid, he has everything. It's not just about his attacking attributes. He also has some defensive attributes. So I will just show you his pizza chart. I think that one I put it. Okay, that's his pizza chart. Like they say, that's his pizza chart. So if you see this tells you what are his strengths and what are his weaknesses. And sometimes, for example, progressive pass is his weakness. But if you are playing in the last line of attack, if you are the one who is taking the shots, if you are the ones, creating the chances, you are at the final, you are the end product in a way. It's difficult to make progressive passes. Progressive passes is usually coming from players in deep, defensive midfielders, defenders. These were the players, because they have to pass the ball to progress the ball up the pitch. So if you are playing high up the pitch, so for his progressive play to be 13%, that is the 13% percentile of the total number of Superliga wingers, the players in the Superliga, that is the Danish league, the players playing in the attacking areas, wingers or stuff like that. So it's not, it's okay. There are some wingers, maybe they like to drop deep and play, but Yankuba Minte, he will get the ball and he will dribble. So this is progressive passing. He's more of a dribbler than a passer. I think one of the points that Buba Diallo said was his passing was very good. I think nowadays, if you look at this, he still can cross the ball, he can create chances, but when it comes to passing, it's not his game. His game is also about dribbling, playing 1-2s here and there. And if you play 1-2, that is not a progressive pass in a way. Progressive pass has to progress for a particular distance before it is termed as a progressive pass. So those things, don't let them know. But his key attributes, if you see, expected assists, that is the expected assists, if you know, is expected goals, opposite of expected goals. If you pass somebody to score a chance, what is the chances of scoring? He's one of the top players in the Dennis League. He's in the 97 percentile. So he's in the top 3% of wingers in Dennis League that create chances for XA, you know. And then his assist is 100%. He's number one. He's the best assister per 90 minutes in the Dennis League that season. You look at his touches in the box per 90 minutes, 97 percentile. He's in the top 3% in the league. His dribbles, 93 percentile. He's in the top 5, like top 7%, which of course is about, like, if you look at his dribble per 90, he is in the top 5 players in the league. So something like that. So you can see this just profiles him, what type of player he is. He's a dribbler. You know, he tried to get into the box. He gets into those positions, and he's very brave when he gets to the box. He's not gonna, you know, panic and do some crazy stuff. Look at his assists. Look at his XA, and even his XG is not bad. If you look at his XG, 57%, it can improve. Is he in the 50%? But he, like, is not yet great yet. He do something bad passing and stuff like that. This just profiles Kwaminte as a player. This kid is gonna be very interesting to see how he progressed next season. In Feyenoord, because Feyenoord, the way they play, they are a pressing team. Their coach is a very good coach, a prospective coach, one of the most talked about coaches. So it's very good for him to learn from that coach. It will be interesting to see what he will take from there. I can't wait to see him in the Premier League, by the way, with Newcastle. Of course, I'm not a Newcastle fan, but since Yakomide is going to Newcastle, I'll be a Newcastle fan almost all the way, because this kid is that special. But anyway, guys, let me just look through some of the comments, and before I wrap up, hey guys, this is my friend Saiful. Hey Chama, great to hear you. Good. That was Habibi, bro Nunala, and that is it. Hi Chama, I am Watanabe. Genki, hi Genki, that's you. It's my Japanese guy. Why, yeah. Suma guy, tey da ngeen gis ne nag man kenn maa fi nekk tey suma coach bi nekk fi coach so ngeen jégal ñu. I just have to record the show, and it's freaking hot here. You can see I'm locked in my, you know, in my small studio in my house. So yeah, but anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you have questions, guys, I'll be very happy to answer them. You can also get in the comment section, and we'll be very, you know. But yeah, I hope I did justice to the show by myself today. I was just trying. Of course, my expert is Coach A. Unfortunately, he was not around today, so I had to do this by myself. But yeah, that is it. So guys, I would just say, let me just give you guys another, you know, just a rendezvous next week. Inshallah, we will be back, hopefully, and have a great Eid. It's gonna be Eid this weekend. This midweek is Wednesday. Tobaski. So have a great Tobaski, everyone. And yeah, ngeen baal ñu yàlla ñu yàlla boole baal. So bi neen déggoo after Tobaski bi inshallah. Wow, right? Suma guy déggoo nañ peace.